Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the LightSKIN H2B Integrated LED Flat Handlebar. Between GPS computers and headlights, it's hard to avoid clutter on your handlebars. That's what inspired LightSKIN to develop their flat handlebars with integrated LEDs. It's a sleek design that combines a bright LED headlight with an aluminum handlebar for a modern aesthetic and theft-proof setup, so no one can really steal your light anymore without stealing the whole bike. Packaging is very simple. You have a nice cardboard box, and obviously the handlebar is right beneath the little graphic indicator. What's cool about this is they also have these little circular cutouts, which shows the orange instruction manual underneath and matches their logo. There are a number of variations of this. We have the H2B with the 31.8mm diameter and 640mm width. Go ahead and take it out of the box and go over specs. Retail price on this is $130. It's a flat handlebar. Has a 9-degree back sweep, 0-degree up sweep, and then 5mm rise. It's available both in matte black, which we have here, as well as a polished finish, and 150 lumen output from the LED. So pretty impressive for the small size, and has micro USB recharging directly built in, so you can simply charge it while it's still installed on your bike. It's an aluminum handlebar as well. In terms of what comes with it, obviously you get the handlebar, the orange instruction manual, which gives you some guides on how to set it up, as well as cutting it. So if you do want to shorten it, you want to make sure you move that battery. And then you have a very long micro USB charging cable, so you can reach outlets while it's still installed. Now let's take a look at the weight of the H2B handlebar. We have the 640mm width, so obviously the weight will depend on how wide you go. This is 306, which is fairly light considering the fact they have an LED built in. Now let's go to the fit and finish of H2B. With this one, the B signifies that it is battery powered. They offer quite a few variations. You can get dynamo powered or e-bike, which would use an external battery source. So with this one, with everything in it being integrated, you don't have any wires coming out. The other variations, you would have a wire sticking out the back that you could connect to your power source. What's great about this is you get a traditional flat handlebar. So it's great for city or urban riding. Nice wide stance. This is 640mm. They offer it in quite a few variations, and you can cut it down all the way to 540, which is the minimum width. And if you are cutting it, make sure to move the battery inward. You don't want to slice through it. Now what's really cool about the handlebar, the fact that you have the built-in LED. So they've cut two circles in here, so two rectangles. You have the light and then the charging port. Now it is a little bit weird to cut a hole in something so structurally important like your handlebar, but with this one they've compensated for it, and you can see really nice and smooth edges. It's also passed all the regulations, so it should be durable for at least city and urban riding. With this LED, it's a single LED design with a projector lens, and it is actually claimed to be one of the world's smallest LEDs that are StVZO compliant at only 13 by 18.5mm, so very small. And what that means is there's no glare here, so you actually have a beam cutoff. So rather than having a cone style beam, you have this nice cutoff, which really focuses the light on the ground and in front of you. So it's great for urban riding. You won't blind other people as it is already directed downward. The user interface on this is also very simple. You have a rubber cover, which you pull up, which doubles as your power button. And then the micro USB port here. It'd be great to see USB Type-C in a future version though. And then you have a one-level menu. So one press will go from off to high, another press will go low, and then another press will turn it back off. There's no mode memory, there's no holding it. It's simply a short press to cycle through. There's also LED indicators built in here, so when you're charging, this will be flashing red. When it's fully charged, it'll be red. And then when you're riding and there's a low battery indicator, this will actually go blue. So a pretty simple setup and very easy to use. Now let's take a look at the light output of the H2B handlebars. There's only two modes, a high mode and a medium mode. High mode's 150 lumen with 4-hour runtime. Medium doesn't have the lumen amount listed, but it's good for 6 hours. The beam itself is nice and sharp. You have a small projector lens and really prevents any glare and keeps most of the light on the ground. So it's a nice feature, and with only 150 lumens, it actually feels brighter than it really is. Now you can see here it looks pretty dark, and that's because the GoPro really doesn't do that well for nighttime photography. So it is brighter than this in real life. But you can see at 150 lumens, it is not a really bright light. So if you're doing mountain biking or any higher speeds, you're definitely going to want something brighter. Instead, if you're doing mixed use like urban use and lower speeds, it's a really great option even on fully blackout trails. It has enough light and a nice focus beam to really light up the road in front of you. So again, great option for city or urban use. And this is a light you'll never forget because it's always attached to your bike. The downside of this integrated approach is that you can run out of battery and there's no real battery status checker. So you do have to be on top of it with only 4 to 6 hour runtime. You want to make sure you charge it. So if you're doing longer rides, you want to make sure you don't run out of light mid-ride. So it's still a good idea to bring a backup light. The other thing to point out with the integrated approach, you can't really move that lens. So if you have cables like our bike has here, this is a Priority Ace of Spades, the front cable and the rear brake cables actually do slightly block the lens and obscure it a little bit. So you may need to zip tie them out of the way or sort of reroute them slightly if you're able to. But one downside of any integrated approach. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the H2B handlebar. What you like about it is that it has an StVZO lens, so it's a very compact projector lens that doesn't have any glare and really focuses the beam on the ground. It's also a minimalist and sleek lighting solution because it's integrated. You don't have any additional mounts or battery packs or wires running anywhere. It's all in one. Also, the integrated design is theft-proof, so you can't really steal the light without really stealing your whole handlebar or the entire bike. Some of the cons for the handlebar is the fact that it uses a micro USB port. Really would have been nice to see a USB Type-C. It also has a low battery status indicator only instead of a multi-level checker. So there's really no way to check the status of the battery, so you do need to be on top of charging it. Also, the integrated lens can easily be obscured by cables, so if you have front brakes or shifters, you might need to reroute them so they don't block the lens. Taking everything into account would give the H2B handlebar a 9.0 out of 10. It's a sleek and integrated solution that's great for urban bikes or city use. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.